So today's topic is rational numbers. This is the chapter 1 for class 8. The topic at a glance. Let us see what all we are going to learn in this chapter. Okay, firstly we will learn about what are rational numbers. Secondly, we will learn about the properties of rational numbers. And the next one we learn here is representation of rational numbers on the number line. The fourth one, it will be finding rational numbers between two given rational numbers. So these four are our main topics, okay, inside the chapter rational numbers. So firstly, let us start with what are rational numbers. Before going with what are rational numbers, let us recap all the numbers what we have learned before. What did we learn? We know about so many numbers before. What are they? From your earlier classes, you are learning different types of numbers. In that first, you have learned about counting numbers. That is natural numbers. The set of natural numbers will always start from 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinity. The whole set of these numbers are called natural numbers. After natural numbers, we have learned another set of numbers called the whole numbers. What are whole numbers? The set of whole numbers starts from 0, 1, 2, 3, so on up to infinity. The only difference between the natural numbers and whole numbers is whole numbers starts from 0. 0 is included in whole numbers. So this is nothing but whole numbers can be written as 0 plus all the natural numbers. Okay, so all the set of natural numbers including 0 makes our whole numbers set. Okay, next to whole numbers we have learned integers. What are these integers? Integers are the set of numbers which contain negative numbers, zero, and all the positive numbers. So integers will contain negative numbers, 0, and all the positive numbers. So integers can also be understood as all the negative numbers plus the whole set of whole numbers, because 0 plus all the positive numbers will make the set of whole numbers. So if we add just the negative numbers to that set, the whole set of integers will be seen. Okay, so what are this? You need to be very clear about the numbers. So firstly, natural numbers, that is the normal counting numbers which starts from 1, 2, 3 up to infinity. Then the whole numbers which includes 0 plus all the natural numbers. Then comes the integers which include negative numbers, 0, and positive numbers. That is nothing but negative numbers included in the set of whole number gives us the set of integers. After integers, then now we are going to learn about our current topic, which is called as rational numbers. So what are rational numbers? Let me introduce these rational numbers to you in a different way. We all have learned how to solve equations before, isn't it, in your 6th and 7th grades. Okay. So let us solve some equations here. I have already solved for you. If we take x plus 2 is equal to 10, then x is equal to 10. This plus 2 goes the other side and becomes minus 2. So our answer will be 8. What is this 8? 8 is a natural number. Okay. Let me show you another equation. X plus 5 is equal to 5. Okay. Then x is equal to 5 minus 5. The answer will be 0. This is a whole number. Okay, if we take another equation called x plus 10 is equal to 6, then our x will be 6. This plus 10 goes that side, it becomes minus 10. Then we get the answer as minus 4. What is this minus 4? It's a negative number. Now, all the negative numbers comes under again integers. So, it's an integer. So, next comes our equation 2x is equal to 3, where x is equal to 3 by 2. What is 3 by 2? 3 by 2 is a fraction. Both the numerator and the denominator are whole numbers here. So we can always call 3 by 2 as a fraction. Next comes, I want to show you this equation. 5x plus 7 is equal to 0. Then how to solve it? Leave 5x this side. Take this plus 7 that side. It becomes minus 7. Then x is equal to minus 7 by 5. What is this minus 7 by 5? It's a rational number. Okay, this cannot be called as a fraction because fraction will be always made up of only whole numbers. So this minus 7 by 5 is our rational number. So how can we define a rational number now? Rational number is any number which can be represented in the form of P by Q, where P and Q must be integers. That is the first condition. The second condition is Q should not be equal to 0. What happens if the denominator is 0? The whole thing will become undefined. Therefore, any number which can be represented in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0, can be called as rational numbers. So some examples of rational numbers are 2 by 5, then minus 7. Can we call minus 7 as a rational number? Yes, minus 7 can be written as minus 7 by 1. So it can be called as a rational number. Then comes 4. 4 also can be written as 4 by 1. So it's a rational number. So all the negative numbers are rational numbers. All the positive numbers are also rational numbers because we can always write them as 4 by 1, 2 by 1, 8 by 1, like that. Any positive number can be written in the form of P by Q by using the denominator as 1. Can we call 0 also as a rational number? Yes, because 0 by 1. 0 can be written as 0 by 1. So including 0, all the positive numbers, negative numbers, everything will come under the set of rational numbers. Okay, now we will go to our second topic, which is properties of rational numbers. Whenever we talk about properties, you will remind what we have learned in the earlier grades. We have learned about closure property, we have learned about commutative property, we have learned about associative property, and then comes distributive property. Now let us check each property whether it is satisfied with our rational numbers or not. Let us check our closure property now. What is basically the closure property? It means whenever we are adding two numbers, if the result is also a whole number, whenever we are adding two whole numbers, if the result is also a whole number, then we say that whole numbers are closed under addition. Understand? Just take any two whole numbers, add them. Whenever the result is also a whole number, we say that whole numbers are closed under addition. When it comes to subtraction, that is, for example, they have taken 5 and 7. See, what is the result? We are getting minus 2. Is minus 2 a whole number? Definitely not. It's an integer. So whole numbers are not closed under subtraction. So children, you need to check with 2-3 examples. You can't blindly take a single example and check any property. Then comes multiplication. Whenever we are multiplying two whole numbers, when the result is also an whole number, we say that whole numbers are closed under multiplication. In the same way, for division, when we are dividing, okay, two whole numbers, see, we got 5 by 8. Is 5 by 8 a whole number? No, it's a fraction. So, whole numbers are not closed under division. Basically, closure property is telling us whenever we take two numbers from a particular set, if the result also belong to the same set, that is maybe the set may be whole number set, or the set may be natural numbers, the set may be integers, whatever the set may be, when the two numbers belong to a particular set, when they were added, okay, if we get the result, okay, the result also belongs to the same set, then only we say that it is closed. So this tabular form is very clearly given in your textbooks. Okay, they have given various operators here and they have checked with various numbers here and the remarks were given here. Understood? You can take any other numbers, okay, and you can check the property at home. Coming to the integers. Integers also I want to check how good is this closure property. So if we take integers, when we take the operator as addition, see they have taken minus 6 plus 5 which gives us minus 1. Minus 1 is again an integer. Minus 6 is an integer, 5 is an integer, and the resultant what we got here is also an integer. So what can we say? Integers are closed under addition. In the same way, let us check for subtraction of integers. Now let us check the closure property in regard to subtraction. See here they have taken two integers. One is minus 6, the other one is minus 8. When we are subtracting minus 8 from minus 6, what happens? Minus 6 minus of minus 8. So minus of minus 8 becomes plus 8. So minus 8 minus 6 plus 8 will give you plus 2. Plus 2 is also an integer. So what can we say? Subtraction is closed under for integers. Subtraction is closed for integers. Then multiplication. They have taken two integers 5 and 8 which gives the result as 40. Or if you take minus 5 and minus 8 also, the result will be 40. Why? Minus into minus will always give you a plus in the result. So integers are closed under multiplication 2. Then comes the division. See they have taken two integers 5 and 8. See the resultant is 5 divided by 8 which is not an integer. It's a fraction. Okay, so integers are not closed under division. So did you understand the closure property? Good.